Okay, guys, thanks for attending tonight. I'm Sarah Cronin. Morgan and I have been like kind of success partners tangentially, I don't know, whatever, in the past, and we have worked together, but we are kind of like in very similarly situated positions in Megan Ewaldon's downline. So we kind of team up here and there, and we were chatting for months, probably maybe even a year, about doing a retreat together because a lot of our team is in South Carolina. A lot of y'all's team is in South Carolina, of course, too. And we finally made it happen and we have it scheduled for February. But in light of that and like the qualification requirements that we put out there and the excitement around it, we want to make sure that we're kind of working together, like everyone's getting to know each other. We are, being intentional, I guess, with how we're spending our time, both on ourselves and on our businesses to make sure that everybody that wants to be there or wants to, at least have the recognition of being invited can get to know each other and have that excitement going together. So we also have kind of planned a challenge group coming up that Morgan's going to talk about. And we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the Super Saturday announcements that were made because it all ties together, like committing to ending the year as strong as possible, committing to the next 100 days is what Carl's call to action was actually. And it actually, timing wise, fits perfectly with our retreat because it's in February and it's about 100 days. And February is going to be Teen Cup month. So it's all going to like snowball into each other with regards to how we get success basically through that time period. So Morgan's going to start talking first and then I'm going to wrap it up from there. But we wanted to talk a little bit about the challenge group, the retreat, and make sure we're answering all the questions that you guys have about both and hopefully pumping everybody up to end this year strong. So Morgan, take it away, sister.
All right. So I don't know, where everybody is on Sarah's team. I know through some conversations that I've had with some on our team, not only, is life just whoa right now, but I'm sensing that our own journeys are kind of not super consistent across the board. And I know from doing this for several years, when I'm not committed to a program, all in the challenge group, committed to my nutrition, like doing all of the things, that my business follows right along with that. This, it's so cool, but it's also like reality that our business is designed to work when we're working on ourselves. Like that is the foundation of being a coach, right? So not only do we want to use this, so the challenge group Sarah mentioned, Fit 45, to give you guys and us a place to really hype up excitement and invite people to like have something to invite to. But we also wanted it to be something that we can all commit to as well. So obviously, with 30-day breakaway, some people are doing MBF again. I know a couple of us are going to follow Autumn's hybrid calendar in the lead up to Control Freak. Like everybody's kind of, we're not all doing the same program right now. So the cool thing about the Fit 45 is that it's just a commitment to the last 45 days of the month, or I'm sorry, the year. Technically, starting 45 days will begin on a Tuesday. So kind of my thought for that is we meld a little bit of like a prep week during that, since we start on Tuesday during that first week, but helping people understand the importance of like, okay, but we want you to start moving today, even though we're going to be sharing prep and all of those things for that first week. In sort of the build up to this group, something I started working on this morning was stories, which I've got to go back and edit because there were typos. And then I'm also, when we get off, going to finish a like a pricing graphic. And kind of my idea for this is, and this was inspired by Sean T when he was talking about his new program on the Super Saturday video. He said, I just wanted to create something that everybody could enjoy, that everybody could do, that would give everybody something to get up and just move every single day. So I'm kind of approaching this. Normally I try to like really hone in on a niche, somebody who really wants to do X, Y, or Z, but I'm kind of just going to broaden it for this and speak to people who have very specific goals with weight loss or toning up or whatever, but also just to the person who feels beat down, frustrated, like mentally down, and helping them to see that this is just about showing up every day. Move, do something, and using Beachbody On Demand to maybe do Country Heat one day and a size routine one day and a 3-week yoga retreat one day. And they can still use the little, here, let me screen share. They can still use the tracker even if they're not committing to an actual program. And honestly, it's hard for me to say, so this is what the little track look like. Just super simple. Like they can print it or they can just use an app and check it off each day. And then we'll have a drawing at the very end. Everybody who completes the tracker will go into a drawing for a $45 Amazon gift card. But it's hard for me to say, you don't necessarily have to commit to a program, because when we did 80-Day Obsession, that was truly the aha moment for me of seeing the power of actually doing a program start to finish. And over the past almost 3 years, I have seen that with our coaches and our challengers who stay consistent, it's the ones that finish a program. But going back to the whole like motivation for this, which is give women a place, like something positive, get their body moving every single day. They can fall in one of two tracks, right? So like just plug in and move, or help them pick a program and actually do what we would normally teach our challengers to do in the first place. I know for me too, when I'm feeling like a little lull in my business, really getting excited about a boot camp and going out there and finding the women who need it, talking about it in my stories, posting about it, being very specific about inviting to that, it always gets me hyped up. So if you feel, that lull, that frustration, like get behind this, get excited, commit to it for yourself, and commit to it to help other women be a part of it. And obviously, like we're talking about the retreat tonight too, this is also to help y'all meet the requirements to get there. We set it up so that you don't have to do one thing or the other. It's very much like we create a bunch of qualifications that will hopefully allow for flexibility depending on how you're building your business. But so use this to get some of those check marks in November. Sarah, you want to go on to the next part?
Sure. Okay, so if you guys watch the Super Saturday replay, there was a section from Kim Carver where he kind of just talked about like 3 things to commit to for the next 100 days. And 100 days is significant because Team Cup is going to be 100 days away, or, give or take, for February. So the first thing that he talked about was committing to your own results, which we're planning for by using this Fit 45 challenge group. And I created some like generic stories last night, and Morgan obviously has hers, so she's going to share hers with us, and they'll be in both team pages so everybody can use it. But I really am excited about, honestly, just having new people to run a challenge group with, because I don't know about you guys, like ours gets so quiet and like nobody is posting right now. And I feel like they almost need that. Like, hey, you can come into this challenge group if you're going to commit to this 45 days, and like, let's get them excited. Like when I see other coaches posting their challenge group stories and they've got 60 comments on a post, I'm like, how do they do that? Well, the one way a lot of people do it is like putting a prize out there, giving them something simple to work towards. Like I think just having this short time period, having a prize, having a bunch of different coaches to run it together, and like us really show up and we commit to that 45 days too, is going to be amazing. So focus on fitness, focus on nutrition, and active participation in the group was the first part of that, which Morgan covered. The second part that he talked about was committing to a meaningful purpose in your business and having some sort of visual reminder of it. Like maybe it's a vision board, and we did a call on this a couple weeks ago. Maybe it's honestly just like a place. Sorry, let me mute. maybe it is like a quote that sticks out to you. Maybe you just write your goals on a piece of paper, but committing to some sort of meaningful purpose for your business, I think just adds extra power to this. Like you're showing up to work on yourself, but you're doing it with like a bigger business purpose in mind. And when you're getting the best results, your business is going to be doing the best too. And I listened today to the National Wake Up Call that Hannah Roberts did like 2 weeks ago. And she was talking about how she fits this in like 3 hours a day, which not even all of us have. But she said the one thing that she did that fueled her was she had some picture of her like working beside her daughter from 2+ years ago, saying like, this is what I'm working towards. Like, this is what I want my life to look like because of this. Like I can, be home with my kids. And now that's what her life looks like. Like how powerful is that? So she showed up every day because she knew she wanted to replace her income from like 4 different jobs with this. And she's done it plus who knows how much because she's a superstar diamond coach now, but she had that visual reminder for herself. So this is going to take a little bit of deep thought for a lot of us, because a lot of people come into this and they're like, I just want to see a transformation, or I just want to cover the cost of Shakeology. That's great. But like, what really, like, what's your pain point behind it? Like I had a thought as I was listening to the call, because I work full time. I was asked today by one of my coaches who's newer, like, do you want to leave your job to do this? And I was like, I don't know that I do, but I have to come up with my why again, because I've kind of lost sight of it. Like I make, some great fun money with this. I earn vacations. I've paid off a lot of debt. I can see what this like annual money will do for my family, but like, I don't have that pain point right now. And it kind of hit me as my husband is going to trial, and he's like gone before the kids get up, and he's coming home at, late hours. And I'm now a new mom of 3, like just scrambling. I'm like, I think my why has to be like for us to have time freedom, because like our life right now looks like it's bananas. We just had a baby a month ago. It's the 3rd one. He's in trial for the next 2+ weeks. He's going to be gone all weekend. Like that's not fulfilling, like I know that he enjoys the job, but it's not like, it's not bringing him a ton of like satisfaction. And then me, I'm like, I'm starting to yell at my kids because I'm feeling frazzled because I don't have, anybody here helping, and I'm running around doing all the things. Like I have to create that vision for what I want my life to look like now. And I have to know how coaching is going to tie into that. And honestly, that's probably the most like fuel to my fire I've had in a long time, because I got very complacent with coaching. And so I feel like having that even just as like a point of the call this weekend was really powerful. So number 2 is commit to a meaningful purpose to your business and make a visual reminder for it. Now, you guys, like I understand for everybody, this is going to look different, right? Like, for some people, it probably doesn't even make sense for you to think about like your husband leaving his job from this. Like, I don't know that that's what Colin wants, but I can see just a different schedule in our day, right, from what coaching can do. But maybe in the beginning, it's to earn a trip for your family. God knows we all need a trip after this year. Maybe it's to earn this leadership trip for yourself. And I wanted to show you just really quickly what the leadership trip is. I know you've probably all seen it in your team pages and our team page, but just really quickly, like if it helps you to have some sort of visual for yourself, like this is Morgan's such a great like picture maker. I'm not good at this stuff at all. I do like words on a page and she makes it all beautiful. So this is the house that we've rented for February 12th through the 14th. This is the house that you guys could come stay at for free. Morgan and I are putting this together to like reward our teams for hard work, because I feel like, especially after this year, like you can show up every day and do this on your own, but sometimes until you see a bigger picture, like a team trip, it doesn't make a lot of sense, or maybe you don't feel that connected to it. Like talk to Stacy. She just went on Megan's leadership trip this past weekend. It adds so much motivation and so much excitement. And it makes your heart like really invested in this whenever you connect with all the other coaches on your team that are doing this too. Whenever you come together and you talk about your goals and you speak life to your goals with a bunch of other women who have that same like, long-term vision for their life. Like most of my friends don't think about those things. My coaching friends, they think about those things. And that fires me up, and I hope it does for you too. But maybe this is your visual, maybe this is what you want to earn as our trip. Maybe it's, a Success Club trip. Maybe it's just taking your family to like Disney for a weekend. Those things are all very important. But if you set something like that up as a mental, like why it's your why for this, if you will, for now, then I think it adds a lot more fuel to your fire for you showing up over the next 100 days, for the next 45 days. And if you just want me to quickly talk about like the retreat goals. So obviously we're in November now. The retreat is in February. And I have a feeling like if you hit Success Club in February, we could figure out, adding some extra time onto this. But, the goal is really to lock in one item from the following two categories. So one is you go diamond, or you help two coaches rank advance, or you're hitting Success Club 5 for plus for at least 2 months from October to January, or have at least 500. I'm sorry, you have to do one from here and one from here, right, Morgan? I'm messing this up. Or have 500 PV for at least 2 months from October to January. So if you didn't hit Success Club or 500 PV in October, like we're focusing on what's happening in the future, right? So November is going to be your month. Like Fit 45 is what you're going to invite to. You are going to get at least 3 people to join you in this, and we are going to end this year super strong. And if, from there you check that box, like we are here to help you with this, help two coaches rank advanced or go diamond. So if you want to make it happen, if you want this to be part of your bigger vision for the business, I think it's a great place to start because it's short term. And ultimately, there's a lot more that comes along with it, right? Like if you're hitting Success Club for these months, you're getting prizes from Beachbody. You're probably earning higher income if you're hitting the Success Club or PV goal. You might be earning Christmas money for your family. There's a whole lot more to this, but I think having a bigger vision for your business as a part of this is going to be really huge. So that was number 2 of what he shared this on this call from Super Saturday. Sorry, let me stop this. And then the last thing is, sorry, I have my notes right here. Commit to your vital behaviors. So I'm sure everybody knows this, but like if you are committing to your own results, that kind of checks off one of the vital behaviors anyways. But personal development, obviously coming into play, inviting other people to join you, and then recognition. And ultimately, you guys, like if we're committing to running this challenge group that's going to be full of excitement and motivation and encouragement for other people, doing the vital behaviors is going to become really easy because we're going to be pumped up about it, and we're going to want to share it in our stories, and we're going to want to share it with, other people that we're inviting to join us. So I think I had this conversation today with a newer coach, and she's like, well, how do you really get started? I'm like, you just have to work on you, and you have to get really freaking pumped up about what your results are and start sharing that. And getting the results and committing to, your own personal journey, I think is the biggest part of it. But also vital behaviors, I think incorporating some sort of tracking mechanism for yourself. Maybe it's a Success Club tracker. Maybe it's just like a simple power hour checklist. And I think doing it like 5 days a week, that's just my own personal view, is pretty much key to making the goals happen. Like if you want to make Success Club happen, you pretty much, I think, have to show up about 5 days a week and do a power hour of some sort. Morgan, do you want to add more to the vital behaviors piece?
Just at the very end of the Super Saturday call, Doug Moss spoke. He kind of wrapped up the thing, and he said, there's no secret in this business, and the Success Club system tracker, which is a vital behavior, like you all probably know what that is, but a power hour tracker, tracking your vital behaviors. It was not created by corporate Beachbody. It was created from them listening to very successful coaches tell them what worked for them in their business and what worked for their teams, and that it's there because it works. I know, like I said, when I'm in a lull, it is because I'm not doing the things that are on that tracker or whatever tracker you may use. So just, ditto that. And we all know, I said this in a live on my team page on, I think, Saturday, like we know whether we're doing the things or whether we're not. So just kind of gut checking yourself and, doing the things. I did want to say too, Sarah, where you said your heart is invested when you go to a live event or you go to a retreat. The first Destin retreat, there's a gnat flying, that I went to, I was pregnant with Coy. I had never met anybody in person. I went by myself. I knew I couldn't drink because I was pregnant. But I just went because number one, I had earned it. And number two, I was so excited to have earned that retreat. And after I left, I 100% everything was different. Everything was different because I talked to other leaders. I picked their brains. Like a person that I followed on a screen was like a real life human being in my life. And it truly does. Your heart, that's such a good way of saying it. Your heart becomes so much more invested. This is kind of going off script, but Stacy, I feel like y'all probably did a lot of like talking and learning and listening. Was there anything like, I don't know, top 2 things from the retreat that you took away?
Do you want like tips or just like takeaways from like the moment kind of like experience with it?
1 tip in 1 moment.
Okay. I guess the only thing right now on my mind is like a bonus, and I'll get to a tip while I'm thinking. But is at the last night there, they had asked like the coaches to share because of yous, and they put together a film and it was played for the 4 coaches that hosted the event. And this goes back to when Sarah was talking about like really thinking about that why and digging in again. And we all sat there like needing tissues, crying, because we listened to these girls share because of, the coach. They were able to retire their husband, or because of them, they've came out of depression or off of, depression medicines because of, the coach. They've been able to, have their child and stay at home. Then, there's been, eating disorders that some of the ladies have like overcome. Just the freedom and to hear and see like that emotion that comes from just taking that step of working on you and then just like spreading that to others is just, it's so inspiring and really neat to see what all, y'all may think that y'all don't have a story, and you may think that you're so small, but you don't realize really what impact you are making on somebody because you're just putting yourself first and working on yourself. So that was like, I don't know, something really neat and nice to experience and hear everybody's. A tip would be, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of like repeating a little bit on probably what y'all hear a lot, but don't overcomplicate this. Have fun, work on you first, and then just share that and use the resources that are out there in your team and your coach and your team page to help you. Like, you don't have to think up all the things and try to do all the things on your own. Like, there's stuff out there for everybody to save you some time when you're crunched, you're working, you've got kids, and then you're trying to do this. So I guess like, it's a little nutshell of a kind of tip that a lot of us talked about, just kind of being overwhelmed and trying to make things work the best and everything. So
Love it.
thanks. It was very on the spot, Morgan. I appreciate it.
Sorry.
I actually had the same thought. I was like, I think Stacy should speak next.
I don't do good on the spot, but thanks.
Actually, you did awesome. I'm like feeling way more pumped up just for having watched you go. And I hope that like you guys watched maybe Megan's stories or, some of the other ladies that were there and saw, like, I know in my mind, my like non-Beachbody people, when they see us post about these retreats, they're like, these people are so weird. Like, they talk about like how amazing this is, now their lives are so transformed. But I'm like, it is true that when you go and when you're a part of it, that's how you feel. And I don't like, even just being on a call with another team right now and like having other people here, like doing this together, it like pumps me up, So I feel like when you go to a retreat, you come off of that like on such a different level. Like you meet other coaches and you're like, if they can do it, I can do it. Or you're inspired by them. Or maybe you come away with a success partner that you didn't know that you like even could be compatible with. And it makes you take your business to a whole other level. So I feel like there's so much value to coming together and like, you know, at least having some FaceTime for a weekend and just talking about our goals and learning from each other, you know?
I agree. They're so different than like any girls trip or even with like best friends that I've gone on. Like these trips are just like you never, I mean, I text Sarah, I was like, I miss you. I was like, you know, I kind of wish like you were, you know, of course I wished you were here, but I was like, I wish you were here. I kind of feel like, you know, at first, like I was just kind of nervous. I'm an extrovert, but an introvert. But then it quickly got to where I'm like, I'm good. Like, you know, none of these people are on my team. Like none of y'all were here. I knew Morgan. I met Crystal at it last year. Like, you know, none of y'all were there. But then like I quickly just, I gained bunches of new friends, and like it felt